Is Queen Cleopatra dark-skinned?
What's the problem if Cleopatra is the queen of Egypt? And Egypt is an African country.
Well, that leads us to another question. Are Egyptians dark-skinned?
My friend, what kind of strange questions are these? Egypt is an African country, and it's natural for Egyptians to have dark skin.
Then, why all this fuss recently about the documentary film about Queen Cleopatra produced by Netflix?
Hold on a moment. Did you say documentary?
No, I didn't say anything. Netflix announced that the film is a documentary.
Well, then the director or author, or even the producer must be Egyptian to create a comprehensive documentary.
No, none of the crew members are Egyptian or involved anyone from Egypt.
Well, then the actress must be Egyptian to portray the role accurately.
No, my friend, Adele James is a British actress.
A British actress with dark skin. Oh my god, I'm confused.
But each of these species has origins, and every person takes pride in their origins and remembers them well. There is no one in this world who doesn't know where their parents or grandparents were born and what their origins are, regardless of the country they live in. We all know very well that after the flood, humanity began from the descendants of Noah, whom studies suggest lived somewhere in Asia after the flood. It could be Iraq, Yemen, Saudi Arabia, or Turkey. All of these are unconfirmed studies. Noah had his 3 sons with him, Shem, Ham, and Japheth. From their descendants, people spread across the continents of the world, forming different nations throughout history. Shem, the eldest son, settled in Yemen, and his descendants include Arabs, Jews, Iranians, Turks, and Armenians. Japheth, the youngest son, settled in the north, and his descendants include European, Russian, and East Asian ethnicities. Ham, the youngest son, migrated to Africa to live there. Studies suggest he lived in Egypt and had 4 sons. Mizraim, the ancestor of the Egyptians who lived in Egypt. Cush, the ancestor of the Nubians, whose kingdom extended from southern Aswan to Ethiopia. Put, the ancestor of the Amazigh people in North Africa. Canaan, who migrated eastward and became the ancestor of the Palestinians and Jordanians. Additionally, some of Ham's descendants migrated eastward to settle in India and Southeast Asia. Humanity spread across the continents, and the descendants of Noah gave rise to other nations and civilizations in various parts of the world.
So, Shem and Ham and Japheth are brothers.
Yes, they are brothers, the sons of Noah.
Then, why do skin colors and physical traits differ among countries and continents around the world?
Well, that is indeed a question that requires an explanation. Studies suggest that the sons of Noah had different facial features. Shem had a moderate skin color, Japheth had fair skin, and Ham had dark skin. There are other studies that propose that skin color is influenced by the environment in which a person lives. Those who inhabit regions with high temperatures near the equator tend to acquire darker skin tones as a protective adaptation against the sun's heat. This is a form of the body adapting to its environment, where melanin production in the skin increases as temperatures rise, resulting in a darker complexion. Therefore, even a European individual living in a hot environment would experience changes in their skin color over time.
Well, here we agree. The descendants of Ham include Africans. And indeed, Africa is predominantly inhabited by people with dark skin.
Yes, indeed, the descendants of Ham include Africans. But they also include the Palestinians and Jordanians. However, I disagree with your statement that all Africans have dark skin. Africa is an extremely vast continent, covering an area of 30 million square kilometers, which is 3 times the size of the United States. If there is significant climatic diversity within the United States, Africa exhibits even greater diversity. For example, in North Africa, temperatures can reach as low as 5 degrees Celsius, and in certain places like Mount St. Catherine in Egypt, temperatures can drop to -10 degrees Celsius at times. It is natural, therefore, to find a wide range of human diversity and different physical traits. There are people with fair skin in countries of North Africa, very dark skin in countries of Central and Southern Africa, and also individuals with wheatish complexion in different parts of the continent.
Wheatish, is that a new color?
No, that is a very old color. In short, the skin tone of Egyptians is wheatish. Resembling the color of wheat, it is neither dark nor light, but it has a distinct appearance. Even facial features and physical traits differ significantly from those of African or even Arab countries. While there may be some similarities with Arabs, they are still different.
Who told you that the Egyptians today are the ancient Egyptians? The ancient Egyptians may have come from other places in Africa, and the occupation of Egypt throughout history by the Greeks, Romans, and Arabs and French and English has had a significant impact.
In 2017, an international team of scientists led by researchers from the University of Tübingen and the Max Planck Institute for the Science of Human History in Jena conducted a study to retrieve and analyze ancient DNA from Egyptian mummies. The aim was to understand the genetic changes in ancient Egyptians over time and the influence of foreign invasions and rule. The results showed a very close genetic match between the mummy's DNA and the DNA of populations in North African and Mediterranean countries. This indicates that the population remained relatively unaffected by foreign invasions and rule. The data also revealed that modern Egyptians share a higher nuclear DNA lineage, about 8%, with populations from sub-Saharan Africa compared to ancient Egyptians. This suggests that an increase in gene flow from sub-Saharan Africa to Egypt occurred within the past 1,500 years. Therefore, the skin tone of ancient Egyptians was 8% lighter compared to the current population of Egypt.
Where is this study and what are your sources?
Well, I am well aware of this type of discussion. First, you will find the study in the description below. Secondly, go to Egypt, walk in its streets, watch the current population and judge for yourself. Since we are in the 21st century, you can watch online their local movies, famous singers, or even international footballers. Thirdly, see the faces of the ancient Egyptians in their antiquities or museums in Egypt. Well, my brother, there are many pharaonic antiquities also outside Egypt. Go yourself and see.
Wonderful. I really witnessed all this myself. But it is the media that always falsifies the facts. But why didn't Netflix show Cleopatra wheat-colored, like the Egyptians?
Who said Cleopatra was wheat in color?
I have gone crazy. Oh my god, what do you want from me now?
The truth is that Cleopatra is Egyptian by nationality, as she was born in Egypt, but she is of Macedonian origin, as she was the queen of Egypt during the era of Greek rule over Egypt, and Macedonia is located in Europe. The features of Cleopatra are European. She had medium skin color, not blonde or wheat, and you can notice that from the inscriptions and pictures of her.
If Netflix did an imaginary work, for example, that if Cleopatra was dark-skinned, her life would be like this.
I do not know what is the secret behind this, as the answer lies with Netflix and the producers of the film. But the film is an episode within a group of episodes produced by Netflix, Sweet Queens of Africa, and it has already finished the first episode. And it was about Queen Zinga, who is a truly African queen of the kingdoms of Ndongo and Matamba in Southwest Africa in the 17th century. But the strange thing is that Netflix announces it explicitly, that it is a documentary. We asked ChatGPT about what are the requirements for producing a historical documentary film. Answer us with 10 points and mention the first point. Extensive research, a thorough and in-depth research is crucial for producing an accurate historical and documentary film. It involves studying primary and secondary sources, consulting experts, accessing archives, and conducting interviews with relevant individuals. And on the second point, reliable sources, it is essential to rely on credible and authoritative sources for factual accuracy. Primary sources such as historical documents, diaries, letters, photographs, and videos are highly valuable. Secondary sources like scholarly works, academic papers, and expert opinions can provide additional context. And that is unless Netflix is completely involved in the production of this movie.
And what did Egypt do about it?
Egypt is currently preparing a comprehensive cinematic and documentary project based on scientific research, which will be released soon. Renowned Egyptian Egyptologist Dr. Zahi Hawass has already created a documentary film on this topic. If you're wondering where to find the film, I will provide the link in the description box.
As for whether the rest of the world will believe the truth, or Netflix,
I have great confidence in the educational methods that promote an accurate understanding of history, particularly regarding Egyptian civilization. There are numerous fans and followers of Egyptian history worldwide. To further support this, my friend Ahmed Al-Samad, who resides in the United States, conducted a meeting with some Americans to inquire about their perception of the skin color of Egyptians. Their response was,
Do you think Egyptians are black or white?
White.
White.
I think they are white because I've been to Egypt many times.
Oh, you've been to Egypt? Okay. Many times.
Darker skin tone.
Neither. Olive, if anything.
And I also think the way that Egyptians are portrayed in the United States, we see all lighter colored people.
In Egypt, all colors existed. There was a northern kingdom and a southern kingdom. The southern kingdom was predominantly dark olive color and a little bit of black people in the south. And the northern kingdom, predominantly weedy people. Because the ancient Egyptian farmers when they used to implant wheat, they noticed or recognized, said, oh my God, I look exactly the same color like the wheat. It's just one of the common traits about Egyptians.
That's very interesting, the wheaty people.
The resemblance between the ancient Egyptian and modern Egyptians?
Yeah.
Yes.
Here you go.
All right.
Ah, my goodness. That's Nefertiti.
Exactly. Good job. Sousan Badr, an Egyptian celebrity, and this is Nefertiti.
Really beautiful angular features. It's something.
Face. Yeah,
the facial.
It's about 3,200 years between both of them. And
They
you look,
look all the same.
the skin I told you about, the wheaty
wheat,
skin.
yeah.
Wow.
See?
Yeah, that's pretty neat.
Pretty much like a legit Egyptian.
Even the more you wouldn't be able to see it under his hair, but the angle of his forehead would match a very similar way too.
He's got a deeper cleft in here than the original. What is this from?
This is King Akhenaten.
Ah, yeah, they look like brothers. Amazing. Egypt has been a crossroads for so many different nationalities.
It was the powerful seat of the world for thousands of years. That's where everybody would go.
Melting pot. Exactly. So now, congratulations. Congratulations. Now I declare you as an expert. Now you became an expert in spotting and detecting Egyptians, right?
Yes.
Thank you. We've learned a lot too.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
I love Egypt. I was like really fascinated by the pyramids. When I was there, I felt like so small.
Well, when we go to Egypt in the fall, we will remember you when we're there. Thanks
Thank you.
for the opportunity.
You're welcome.
I absolutely want to visit Egypt, and I want to learn more and start breaking down some of the misconceptions that come up in the West about the Middle East, because there's a lot of stereotyping and caricatures that happen, and that really just doesn't capture what the world is like.
And we do see color. When I hear people say I don't see color, they're idiots.
color.
It does matter, but I appreciate it, and that's
Yeah.
that's what makes it.
That's all that matters.
That's all that matters.
Yeah, that's what makes it matter.
but I have observed African features in the faces of some pharaonic statues.
It is true that the kingdom of Kush ruled Egypt during the 25th dynasty, which was in the later period and had no direct connection to the pharaonic civilization. The Nubian king, Enki, was able to conquer Upper Egypt and extend his rule along the Nile to the delta, subjugating local princes and establishing the reign of the Nubian dynasty. This can be considered an external occupation of the country. However, the Egyptians eventually expelled the Nubian kings and regained control with the assistance of the Greeks during the reign of the 26th dynasty. In the description, you will find an explanation of the 31 dynasties that govern ancient Egypt.
So, you acknowledge that there were dark-skinned individuals who ruled Egypt for a certain period of time.
I agree with you. I do not support falsifying history. It is true that there were also Europeans and Turks who ruled Egypt, but they were all invaders and not Egyptians. They left behind many monuments that still attract admirers of Egyptian civilization today from the Greek, Roman, Islamic, and Ottoman eras. However, their influence on the population formation of Egypt was not significant. Indeed, the issue at hand is not about skin color or race. The real problem lies in the falsification of history while creating films. It is essential to maintain historical accuracy when portraying real figures. For instance, it would be unrealistic to produce a documentary about Nelson Mandela, with Tom Hanks playing the role. Filmmakers should strive for authenticity and respect for the historical context when depicting such figures. Africa is rich with civilizations and fascinating forgotten stories that should be explored and showcased. This is far better than portraying a civilization without its rightful creators. We do not have any racism, and white people are not superior to black people in any way. Who benefits from this dispute, who ignited the crisis, and why? I am in favor of shedding light on the identity and unique contributions of African cultures to world history. However, it is unfounded to attribute a civilization that does not belong to you or your history and claim to the world, I built the pyramids, I am the origin of Egyptian civilization, and you are not like them at all. The Egyptians of today are undoubtedly the descendants of the ancient Egyptians, and they are the most deserving people to defend their heritage and speak on their behalf. This is not the responsibility of Netflix.